because we're streaming. Now we're live on TikTok and we're live on YouTube. And I decided that at the beginning of my streams, I am not going to do a theme song because, as much as I would like it, I do not live in a sitcom.
Wait,
Um,
we don't have the
no,
calling
that's
up,
at the end.
calling
I
up.
put it at the end
Woo. Oh, okay, cool. I like it.
because,
I
yeah,
like it. That
I
makes
just don't
sense.
think I need like a sitcom where it's just like da 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 da. It's track talk with Maya, like kind of thing. I don't need that kind of beginning. We can just begin.
You don't? Because I now think that we do.
All right, if
I
somebody
actually,
wants to write a
I didn't
song,
think it until you mentioned it. But now, track talking, straight track talking, Star Trek talking with Maya and
none of this
Claudia.
Star Trek talking is straight, though. I just want to be real clear. That's not a thing.
All
All right,
right.
Claudia, we're gonna go to the board. I'm covering up the rank board, so there's like a little bit of a difference. And so we're here. Hello, and so here's a
Look at this cute picture of Spock being like, what happened?
what happened. So um
What's the hot goss about lower decks?
like I really love how you were like we didn't like do anything to like we didn't have to do anything to prepare, and I just think that that's really funny that like you would think that I wouldn't do a bunch of stuff to just prepare, like just
Yeah,
lightly.
she got activated. I'm excited.
Because I do because
You're
I do.
leading. Let me know what to do.
So we're gonna do what happened, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna do like a little game. I'm gonna show you a picture, and we're gonna do both episodes because it's an hour of television, and we'll be fine. So
Word.
I'm gonna show you a picture
Okay, I'm
from the
looking.
first episode, and I'm gonna show you in order, so you can just tell me about this picture from
Oh my
episode
God. All right,
one.
so this is referencing. Oh wait,
Yeah,
do you
go
want
ahead.
do you
No,
want me
go
to?
go. Tell me
All
what
right,
this
so
is.
this is referencing that amazing Star Trek: The Next Generation episode. All the toys or all the things. And in that, and this is just a piece of trivia. A little person was originally cast in the role, and then he had he passed away. So then it had to be recast with the guy who was then in Warehouse 13. And
I do
the
like
big
Warehouse
joke that
13. I
huh?
do like Warehouse
Yeah.
13.
And in this episode, Tindy, our favorite green girl, is undercover as an Orion pirate because, and I gotta be honest, I now need to rewatch. What?
She's not
No.
undercover as an Orion
Well, no,
pirate.
no. Well,
She
she
is.
is an Orion pirate, and she is undercover though, because she's
Oh,
tricking him into
I
thinking she's
get what
just
you mean.
like,
She's a
I'm just a
pirate.
girl who
She's
thinks
just
you're
a
hot.
pirate and she's undercover. That's a good song
Exactly.
too.
That's what I was
She's
saying. I'm
just a
sorry, you couldn't hear the
pirate
comments.
and
There were
she's
comments.
undercover.
Um, and so I got to rewatch the previous season because I'm going to be honest, I don't completely remember how. I know that something happened last season where Tindy had to be like, "I'm sorry, I got to take a sabbatical and go do Orion stuff because I messed up my sister's
She
ship or
made a
something." I don't
deal. She
totally
made a
remember.
deal with the Orions because they needed help. Otherwise, it was at the Texas class or some other bad thing. I don't remember what the big bad was at the end of the episode. I'm sorry, or at that season. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We need to
But
rewatch
whatever.
last
Yes.
season of Lower
But
Decks.
whatever that was, which was bad. Um. The Orions saved their butts, and in exchange, Tendi left Starfleet and became and
Now,
rejoined her house to
now
become
I know
mistress
that
of
we're
the
just
Winter
supposed to be
Constellation.
I know we're supposed to be just talking about what had happened, but like I have a question
Mm-hmm.
because like the joke is funny, but I'm like, oh wait, so that guy just seemed like a unique kinky dude who was doing evil stuff. But no, apparently this is a community. He's got a cousin, a brother who's got the
It's
exact same face
collectors,
jewelry. What's
collectors.
going
It's
on?
collectors. Collectors are slime balls. They're all slime balls. Sorry. I mean, I don't mean people who collect things because I'm one of those people, but I mean those collectors. That's what they call themselves, and they're terrible.
But
Next.
in this episode, Tendi is being a what do you call it? A pirate, and she's a very good
Mm-hmm.
pirate. But she wants to be a non-violent pirate. So she's like, "Hey, how about you not murder everybody?"
Mm-hmm. Hmm. And now tell me about this next picture, or I can tell you
Okay.
about this next picture. I don't know how we want to do
Yeah,
this.
you tell me about
So
this next picture. I'm looking at it in my
this
TikTok
is
screen.
Tendi and Erica. So Devana and Erica. I kind of love that. And then this is, and in the background we have Tendi's crew. Who oh, that's a different episode. Or is that this episode?
Yeah, exactly.
I
Stay
don't
on
know.
this one. Stay
Anyway,
on this first
but
episode.
in this picture, she has gotten back to with her sister, and they're like really excited to see to do stuff with the Orion piratey stuff, because all she has to do is steal one more ship, and then she can go back to the thing, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's like, yo, go to this planet, steal this like ship. We got coordinates, and if you get it, if you get this old Orion ship, it's like some old Orion ship. If you get
Yeah.
it, we're gonna be golden. And I'm now realizing that I'm calling the character Tindy because we met the character as Tindy, but like the way their names work, she's actually Devana.
Yeah, her
right?
name is Devana Tendi.
Yeah.
And her sister is named Erica, which
is so funny.
Erica.
It's so funny.
It's beautiful. All right, next image. Claudia, can you tell me what's happening in this image? We have two Talins.
Woo!
We have two, what's his faces? Tayshawn? Two Tayshawns? Billups has a crown? What?
Yes. Okay, so in this photo, we are witnessing that the Cerritos accidentally like got drawn into a parallel universe or something, or it pulled the Cerritos, and I actually was confused about did our Cerritos go into the parallel universe, or did they go into our universe?
Okay, it took me a second.
So our Cerritos goes into the parallel universe where they meet another Cerrito. And then on the duplicate Cerritos, it's all the characters we love, except for the captain. Where did Captain Freeman go? And but Becky Mariner is now the captain, and Becky's got issues. Becky has not worked through her stuff in a healthy manner. Boimler seems to be doing really well. So he's got a beard. He's got a Riker beard going on. He seems to be really confident. I was waiting in the entire episode for them to reveal that he had, and it never happened. And I was like,
expecting. I was like, is he a psycho?
Writers.
And then I was like, no, wait. Everybody is almost exactly the same, but with slightly different things that happen. So that Becky Mariner is exactly who this Beckett Mariner would be if all she cared about was being, and she's Becky Freeman even, she's not even, she doesn't even go by Mariner. She's Becky Freeman. And it's like, but in this scene, what do you see what Becky Freeman is doing to our
Oh, right, because she keeps beating people, right? She was just like beating people.
Like,
you're not a good captain. Good grief. Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, Becky has issues. Becky with the good hair had issues.
Mm-hmm. Well, they both had the exact same hair, which was good.
Well, no. Becky's hair was in a different style.
Right, it was in a bun. It was more like Janeway. She was more of a Janeway.
Yes, it was in a season 1 Janeway bun.
Fascinating. Remarkable. I did like that. That was very good.
Really good humor.
Good.
Hi.
Here we go. And now this is what King Billip, and then little Prince
the callbacks.
So
the callbacks to previous Lower Decks episodes, like Lower Decks. You watch an episode of Lower Decks, and it's just like, hey, did you enjoy this episode? If you really want to understand it, watch this episode of Star Trek The Next Generation. Watch this episode of Lower Decks season. Like, come on. I love it, though. I love it because I could spend my entire life watching Star Trek episodes.
I love that. So we have King Billip. Also, do you notice that the alternate Cerritos has their colors are darker and richer than our Prime? Just if you look at this picture, you see our Billups, Prince Billups, has a lighter yellow, and the same with Ransom and Mullet Ransom. I like how a lot of the people have very positive feelings about themselves, right? So, like, even when they're mad, they're still complimentary. Like Ransom is like, oh, you're so handsome. but I don't like that idea. And he's like, well, I think you're very handsome too, and I'm right. And it's like it's kind of fun. I like I like the confidence that they have in one another, but they're disagreeing in how exactly to get um, the prime
Through that,
Cerritos
yeah,
back through so that they're back in our universe. There's some
totally.
disagreement. Billups does call he refers to his counterpart as Your Majesty, which I really like
Uh-huh.
because he is the king, and he's like, well, I obviously will defer to the king, like he's the king. I'm not because I've chosen to not do that. But also, do you know why Billups is a king?
Huh.
Well, you know what he had to do.
Oh,
I
you
wonder
see, there are
why. I
several
wonder who
episodes
made
I
it.
need
I
to
wonder.
rewatch.
I wonder who made his kinghood possible.
Ooh. Okay.
Anyway, next one.
Lower
Next
decks.
one we
Spicy.
have. This is just
Oh.
oh, this is sorry. This is a little out of order, but
Oh, is this from the next
no,
episode?
this is the same episode. It's just
Okay.
this is after she took off her disguise, and it's like, it's me, and she
Oh,
says,
okay, yeah.
I'm
It's
the
me.
I'm the mistress of the winter constellation, and he's like, is that supposed to mean something? Which is super rude.
I love like the shaved side hair. Like it's a cute. She's looking good. She's looking cute and strong like a pirate. I
She's
love
got a
it.
good fit. I like that outfit. Love that jacket. Also, she
Yes.
can do
I feel
kicks
like that
in
would be
it.
a very
She knows to
yes,
kick.
that would make a very good Halloween costume because you would just need like a good belt, black outfit, nice jacket. You could rock that. You gotta like make it low cut though, because she is like rocking. She's just
Rockin'
that's part of I think being like an Orion pirate is you're sexy, but also you kick butt
Orion women, uh, in general,
and
are
green,
very green.
green.
Orion women in general are very in touch with their sexuality and their violent nature.
And I'm going to say that once again, Lower Decks wants you to do homework. Because you really want to understand the conflict between the Green Orions and the Blue Orions. Lower Decks not going to explain it to you. Lower Decks isn't going to give you
They're
any
just gonna show it
context.
to you.
So you're going to have to go back and watch Star Trek Enterprise. And you're going to have to watch several episodes. They will be pleasurable because my boy, what's his name? Jeffrey Combs. Jeffrey Combs, he played all the characters. He played a Blue Orion, and he was real good at that. But the Blue Orions are they have a different society. They're not matriarchal like the Green
Claudia,
Orions are. So it's
you're
different.
confusing Andorians, and
Oh, I am.
Andorians are not Orions
Oh, oh
at
my
all.
God! I have been doing this Maya. I have been in my brain collapsing Andorians and Orions for
No,
years.
they're very different.
Oh, that's embarrassing for me. That's I thank you. The audience also let me know that was Daniel Knox was like he was Andorian actually, Claudia. That's cute, but that's you're wrong.
Yeah.
You got that wrong. That's I'm adorable. What are the episodes I need to watch to understand the difference between blue or are there any episodes that talk to me about the
I
difference
don't.
between blue Orions and green Orions?
Um,
Did Lower Decks make this up?
no, no.
I love the confidence where she's like, no, Lower Decks didn't make anything up. Animated series were the blue ones. Oh, hey, I love that
Oh,
our
thank
audience
you.
this is why we have to live stream the conversation because we need an audience of other Star Trek knowledgeable people to help fill in the gaps, especially when I apparently am so confused about two separate Star Trek
They
species.
also
Okay, so
mispronounce it. They
that
call
is
themselves also their outfits and everything. So they were seen in an episode called The Pirates of Orion. Um and yeah,
was that Enterprise?
no, it's the animated series. It's the animated
Oh,
series.
animated. It's
No,
animated
it was
series.
a
Okay.
accident. It was a flub. They accidentally made Orion's blue. and gave them these
Oh my
really dumb outfits. And that's why they keep talking about our outfits are actually very cool. And we are Orions. We are blue Orions.
Oh my gosh. So this is just another deep, deep canon
Yeah,
joke
because
that there are green Orions and blue Orions.
but
Oh my gosh.
because they
And you
wanted
have
to
to have
make it
watched
work.
the animated series to get that's amazing. That's amazing. I love Lower Decks. I love it.
Yeah,
Okay.
they
Um
color corrected and changed it to yeah. I mean, it's been fixed, I think, in some you can watch it fixed, but I like it blue. Also their outfits are really awful. But can you tell me what is happening in this picture with this mad-eyed Becky
I'm gonna be
Freeman?
honest.
Shall I tell you?
Yes, would you please
All
tell me?
right.
Because I'm
Well,
like,
it turns out that Becky Freeman absolutely hates her life. So she ties up Beckett Mariner, and
oh, that's Beckett
so
Mariner
that's Beckett
dressed as
Mariner
her.
dressed as Becky Freeman because Becky did not want to be captain. She hated being mean and awful, and she wanted to just be like she wanted to be a rebel and be herself and relax
Well, I
and not maybe beat everyone on the ship.
what we're witnessing is Beckett Mariner is still growing into being a healthy leader, right? And has all of this like weird trauma about it, not only from her past and her parents and all of that, but also from the trauma of losing her best friend in the episode The Lower Decks, The Next Generation. So I love that we are witnessing what happens if Beckett Mariner is put in a leadership position
Before
and
she's
is
ready.
sincerely trying her best.
Before she's
Yeah,
ready
because like
for
in the
it.
other times, well, the other times we've seen Beckett Mariner put into a leadership position and she immediately attempts to sabotage it. What happens when she isn't healed and she's not trying to sabotage? It's still not good.
Because she
It's
wasn't
not
ready
great.
for it. She wasn't ready for those kind of things going on.
Our audience has another comment.
Yes.
Can I?
Yes,
Because I don't
please.
get this joke. Daniel just said they canonized the mispronunciation too.
Yeah, of Orions, blue Orions. Because they said
So
it
that was a
wrong
joke.
in that episode. They were called Orions and they were blue and they wore gross, ugly clothes. No offense, blue Orions.
I'm immediately gonna watch the original. I'm gonna watch the animated episode. I'm gonna have to watch the animated episode with the blue Orions,
It's
so
like
I can really
flippin'
understand
hilarious.
and get this joke. I love that like watching an episode of Star Trek Lower Decks is gonna have me watching 5 other episodes of Star Trek.
I'm gonna put a thing. I'm putting an article from Slash Film about the Blue Orions and just some backup information.
Oh, all right. So here's the
into
good news.
into that
We
chat.
these stay up. These stay up on our Twitch channel. So if you go to twitch.tv/callingupjustice and go check out the replay, you can revisit the links and stuff. Because if we
Oh.
mention something, we will try to drop it in the links.
Shit.
I haven't been, but I will. I can start doing that now because we've been mentioning a lot of great stuff. Where it's like if you're into Star Trek and you're real nerdy and you want to get into it, resources.
Okay, next picture we have
Okay.
this. They're shocked, and everyone's very worried. And T'Lyn is sitting very calmly, as T'Lyn do. T'Lyn be T'Lynin.
This is the last this is the last scene in the first season of Star Trek Lower Decks season 5. In this, I'm looking at this in the screen of my cell phone here, so I'm looking at it backwards. But I can tell that this is the last scene where they're like, "That was crazy, wasn't it?" I'm glad that's all done. End of episode. And then our favorite Vulcan goes, "Remarkable." And they're like, oh, because like the running joke was one Vulcan said remarkable and the other Vulcan said fascinating. And they were
Our
like,
T'Lyn says
that's the only difference between us. Interesting. Fascinating. And it was cute that was like the only difference between them. So much so that Beckett Mariner at one point is dishing to the alternate universe. Is her name T'Lyn? Is that her name?
Lynn.
T'Lyn.
Like,
Yeah. So many
yeah,
names
D.
with
Vana.
we might have to do a rank. We might have to do a rank of names with
Just alien
ridiculous
names.
apostrophes. There's Balana, there's Talin, there's De'Erica. I feel like
To
we could have a good
Erica
time doing a
though,
Trek
to
ranks.
Erica is just to mess with us because it's like her name
It's
is
so
to
funny.
Erica.
I love
Like,
it.
come on, come on.
De'Erica.
Okay, so yes.
Come on, it's the same thing with Bradward. Like the names are also
Mm-hmm.
everything's a joke in Star Trek
Oh,
Lower Decks.
Samanthan. Samanthan,
Yes, exactly.
like Samantha, but it's Samanthan because he's a
Thin.
man.
Yes.
Samanthan Rutherford.
Oh, do you think that that's why they add a man? Because it's just like, let's make the character Samanthan. Instead of Samantha, it's Samanthan. I don't know if it's because he's a boy. I think they were just trying to make names
Samanthan Rutherford.
futuristic.
Also, because a lot of times people are not referred by their first name.
By their first name.
Yeah.
So we don't know. Maybe
times,
all the Star Trek characters have
weirdo names,
first
and
names.
that's why, like, in the future, names are gonna evolve and be weird and change. I mean, her name is Beckett. Her name's Beckett, y'all. That's her name.
Beckett actually seems like a cool name to
Beckett
me.
is a
I
cool
like that
name.
as a name.
Beckett is a cool name, but like that's not like there's not like there weren't like 5 Becketts in your first grade class. That's all I'm saying. It's a future-y name, and I like it. Okay, now I have a bonus episode for number 1, and this is Ransom and Captain Freeman at the bar because Captain Freeman found out what happened to her future counterpart. Do you remember?
And Maya, I have a question. So they mentioned that not a future counterpart, but her alternate universe.
Yes.
Her alternate universe, the ultimate universe, Captain Freeman, is not passed away. I was worried they had like passed away or something.
Yeah,
right?
They did that on purpose.
But again, this is why I love Lower Decks. Lower Decks understands that its audience is genre savvy and it's playing with us. Like, I can see the writers in the writing room going, how will we make the audience think they know what's going on, but then they don't, and it's lovely. So I had the tension of being worried about her character and then finding out that her character was on the worst space station. Was that the space station
Yes, it is.
from Prodigy?
No. Yes.
No?
No,
Yes?
no, it's not.
No.
It's not.
No?
No, this is
It
where
wasn't.
is where Beckett was sent. Starbase 80 is where Beckett was sent when everyone was like, you said shitty things about Cerritos, and she's the only one who said something nice, and they sent her to Starbase 80, which is the worst. It's the worst place to ever be placed. Like, nobody wants Starbase 80, and the thought of being transferred to Starbase 80 is enough to make Captain Freeman look like that. And she's drinking some purple foreign, I don't know what that is. Ooh, I don't know what that is. Hey, y'all. Hey, nerds, tell me what that is. Tell me what that drink is.
What that drink is?
Is it Orion? It might be Orion. No, it's not.
Well, you see the bottle.
It's purple.
Like, this is the other thing I love about Star Trek Lower Decks. It knows that we're gigantic Star Trek nerds, and we're going to freeze frame and watch an image to get jokes. So that bottle is a clue to what they're drinking.
Claudia.
I believe that's that thick alcohol that's like kind of thick.
Like blood wine.
That they drank sometimes on TOS and 9. I don't remember the names of Star Trek drinks though, so our audience is going to help us.
Claudia, I want you to say really quick. I want you to say, enhance that section. Just say that.
Enhance that section.
All right.
Enhance.
All right.
Enhance.
That's as best as I can get it.
Computer enhance.
This is as best as I can get it.
Wow. Oh my God, that's really good. Oh,
I just cropped it and zoomed it in. It's not that fancy.
So you think that's Romulan ale?
I don't know what that is. I just zoomed it in for the nerds to tell me. My lovely,
love
nerds.
us, and I look forward to our audience letting us know what that is, because that's awesome.
Episode 2, because we got 2 episodes.
Yeah, let's do it.
So in episode 2, we have the sisters Devana and Erica eating weird snacks, alien snacks, which I'm
They
always
have
into.
got a
I'm
great
always into
relationship.
sisters eating snacks together, you know?
But like also like planning wars together, doing battle strategies. I've got a lot because like basically what had happened was in the last episode, Hindi, yes, she did get that ship, but like she almost sort of kind of low key started a war or something with the Blue Orions.
Orions.
So now they're like figuring out how to like beat them up because they're Orions.
Orions. Or no,
But
they're
like
Orions. Right.
Orions and Orions, that is the funniest joke ever. But I gotta say, sibling goals. I really love how they're like, oh yeah, no, these two characters just have like a really great, healthy relationship. But there's still conflict.
They fully want to support each other 100%, but also at the same and they are willing to gift the magi themselves to do that. Do you know what I'm saying? Gift of the Magi. When the guy cut off the lady cut off her hair so she could buy a watch, and the guy sold his coat so that he could buy a comb. It's like that kind of thing.
I found the alcohol.
What is it?
I've been. It's Cardassian Canard.
Searching.
And Maya, I found it because you were able to blow up the bottle, and they did an amazing job. Like, I'm literally looking at a real bottle that looks exactly like what they put in the cartoon. It is amazing.
I love it.
I'm so impressed.
So we have these two sisters, and they're hanging out. They're eating snacks and trying to strategize. They're making war strategies. Like Orion girlies do. Orion girlies are all about war, strategy, and violence. It is a part of their culture, but they're also girlies. But they're also the girly girls too, which is fun.
Yeah, well, and what I also like is that they're girly girls who like are for each other.
Yes,
like they all seem to be like feminine bonding. I'm for you. I like this. I do.
Yeah,
like again, even when they're like, I'm gonna fight you and almost kill you. It's reasonable conflicts where you're like, oh, actually, I get why you were fighting like that.
But also, like, that's how Orions solve conflict.
Show affection.
And show affection. You're right. No, you're right, too. Is often through, like, violence and talking about violence and things like that. So they're having a good time. And then Erica is like, ooh, for a second. And also ate, like, so many. She ate more snacks than anybody. I mean, I'm not trying to shame her, but she was obviously eating more snacks, and then she got a little dizzy. And Tendi wanted to do a scan, and Erica's like, no, like, and then she's like, I'm going to bed. Goodbye. Next, can you tell me about this? The Pirate Queen of Orion and other stuff.
Okay, so you've skipped. Well, I don't actually. Was this like when they're getting their assignment, or after they've come back and they feel like they've solved the problem?
No, this is before they get called, and this is when they have to do the race because they didn't get.
Yeah, so they got to go do a race with the Orion. Mm-hmm. So they got to and they got to do a sail ship. And the sail ships remind me of the sail ships from Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, solar sailing is something that I like the fact that solar sailing isn't tied necessarily to Bajor, that it's like the type of thing that lots of different planets developed because Orion, the planet of Orion, is super sunny. It gets a lot of sun. We've seen. Like the Ferengi probably would not have developed solar technology because it rains there every day. Like it's like the difference between San Diego and Seattle.
Indeed.
But yeah, they have to do a. I just thought it was really funny because I'm like pirates and they're sailing. I just like
sailing
takes me away
with the Orion.
With that All right. Next, I was loving this planet. Can you? This was the planet that had become post scarcity, and I fucking
we could have an entire conversation about this.
I
Oh my God,
know.
it's
It's why I
so
put an extra
interesting.
episode. I put an extra image in here of that because I was like, oh, I need another. I need more of this. I need more of this.
All right, so this is, I had never thought about it. But what does the community do when it decides to let go of its cash money? Like what happens?
It's
What
useless.
happens to all the monies?
They burn it.
And like apparently,
They get rid of it.
yes, apparently
The stuff
they
that they
just
don't
stick
have
it
that
in
is
the
of
matter.
no value to them anymore. They have, um, yeah, like I'm gonna. Yeah, it was great. I loved it. I loved the money burning in the air. It was awesome. No
Yes.
cash, no money.
No cash, no money, no problems. Just so much fun.
I want that
This is a
shirt.
fun
I want
episode.
that
This is a
shirt.
real fun episode because it's fun to imagine a future where that could take place. I would love it if aliens came to our Earth and were like, "Hey, we've solved your problems. You're post scarcity now. Let me help. We'll help you transition and get rid of all your banks and make them into museums."
It's gonna be really great. Now there is one more. Oopsie, there's one more thing
You have
that
another
I
image?
wanted to. No, I have several more images, but there was just a thing that I wanted also for us to make sure that we talked about. So one more time,
Okay.
I'm gonna need you to say what? Enhance that.
Wait. In computer enhance. Wait.
Yeah, it's
Um um
you did it.
computer enhance. I'm talking into the
Pretty good.
mouse because I'm making a Star Trek the voyage home joke. Computer
Hello,
enhance.
computer.
Enhance.
Hello, computer.
Enhance.
Because they were like,
Okay, you're very funny. Another amazing joke in the second episode of Star Trek Lower Decks is that in the first episode of the season, we saw that alternate Boimler had a full, luscious Riker beard.
mm-hmm.
We can see, because again, Lower Decks be having that continuity like that, that it's like Boimler is still emotionally processing that and is growing a baby mustache. And it is embarrassing. And Mariner makes fun of him for it,
do,
as she
do
should.
you think in the time in between season one and season two of Star Trek The Next Generation that William T. Riker had like some funny hair on his face that everyone made fun of him for? Or do you think or do you think he had sense and used one of the follicle stimulators? Because
See, that's an thank
follicle
you. Thank you.
stimulators exist. Why?
You don't have to just naturally grow
You
it and just like
never
let it
have
grow
to do
in.
that.
You can just get a mustache. It actually wasn't there an episode of The Next Generation where a bunch of the characters were just like, I decided to get a mustache. And like, didn't Data?
Data grew
I
a
have
beard.
this memory
Data
of
grew a
Data.
beard because he wanted to see what it looked like, and they were like, no. They were like,
He
no.
was like,
And
he
then
was
in
so
the
proud
very
of his
last
beard.
episode, Data did it again, and everyone's like, okay. And all good things, he also has a beard, but it feels like everyone
like,
thinks it's like super pretentious, and they're ignoring it. That's what it feels like in
so
that
good.
episode. I'm so glad that that future never happened.
I
Next,
just I just pulled up a bunch of photos of Data stroking a beard, and it's so funny. And also like LeVar Burton, he's an amazing actor because you can see him like laughing his ass off, but also trying to be nice about it when he's like, "Did you damage your face, Data?"
hey buddy, hey friend, hey pal. Not trying to
So
ruin your
funny.
day.
So
Not trying to
funny.
ruin your day. Um,
Amazing.
so this next image is on the sailing ship. Where Devana and I don't know the crew's names, but I'm assuming that they
I
all
don't know their
stand
names
with
either, so you can just say "and her crew."
and her
You can say
and
her crew.
the crew.
The crew. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you. I feel really proud of that. So Tendi and the crew, they're um, sh- oh, she's upset with the crew because
Yeah, because they're doing all this violences, and she's like, "Yo, could you please stop trying to kill folks?" And then they're like, "No, we're trying to do like you. We're trying to be like you."
oh, that was in the previous
If we-
episode. But yes,
That
That was in
was?
the previous
Oh.
episode where they all
Oh.
became where she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm a girl's girl. I will make your dreams come true. You can be a dancer, you can be a baker, whatever. You can stop
Right.
killing people because you don't like killing or cleaning knives,
Cleaning your knives
whatever
so
you
much.
want."
Yeah.
Like I like that that was her reasoning for for stopping killing.
Oh, I know what this scene is. So this scene is so y'all. Spoiler alerts for Star Trek Lower Decks. De Erica is preggers. De Erica is with
She's having
child,
the
and
baby.
the baby. She is with the baby. So she's been keeping it a secret. And Tendi is like, should we be doing a gigantic sail race where you're like putting your body in danger and stuff? Like, shouldn't you be making sure you protect yourself? And so she's trying to like convince the rest of the crew to like,
Mutiny.
just basically do a small
Hmm.
mutiny to
Guys,
stop her from endangering the baby.
yeah, she's like, but what about the baby? And they're like, no, girl.
Oh, we already knew.
But here's the thing.
We
But
already.
here's the thing is that Orion's Orion females are girls, and
Yeah.
they support bodily autonomy. They support choice. And to Erica was like, yeah, I'm pregnant, but I can still fight. Mom fought when she was with you. Like it's fine. And the thing is that
Mhm.
it's because it's her little sister and because she's scared and because she's a doctor that she's having those feelings, but she had to learn that she had to respect her sister's bodily
I
autonomy and choice.
100%. I like the themes that they have in these episodes. I also think to a certain extent because Tindy has become more acclimatized to Star Trek culture, or to Starfleet culture, that she sometimes forgets how Orions do, how Orions be,
Mm-hmm.
because like it's fine. You should be able to like have an entire battle with the sword and like jump on a ship and like take it over when you're pregnant.
Well,
That's not a big deal
that's
actually.
very common, and actually, it's really good for the body to get regular exercise. Uh,
There you go.
Next, we have there's Tendi and Erica, and they're fighting a blue Orion with an ugly ass suit.
Or Orion. So
It's
funny.
so
I
bad.
just I'm so happy that we have this live stream. I'm sure that if we weren't doing this live stream, I'd probably watch somebody else doing a live stream and talking about it and let me know that the depths of this joke. I love
It's
it.
so good. It's so good. I wish there were like pictures. I mean, there are pictures online of the old um, uh, animation style of the blue Orions, but the origin of the Orions. But it's yeah. So they're fighting. They're taking over. They're sisters. I like that. Are
Sisters,
doing
sisters, there were never such vicious sisters. I love it.
and Lord help the blue
The miss.
Orion who comes between me and my sister. All right, next we are
Love it.
jumping back to
Somebody's gonna
to
have
the
to do a fan edit. Where I'm just putting this out into the TikTok universe. Somebody needs to make a fan edit of the Tindy sisters to the song Sisters. I'm telling you, it'll be fun, it'll do numbers, and there's a bunch of content for that. Okay, I put it down in the universe.
yeah,
It'll
it
happen
will
now.
happen now. So now we have here are two here are two assholes who are so afraid to give up their power in this post scarcity society that they kidnapped, and then they made their garden robot keep them guard.
And I love that the gardening robot is having a full on existential crisis. He's like, I was not programmed to murder people, but I have a gun and I'm not sure what will happen. And Boimler's like, that does not make me feel comfortable. That's, oh dear, oh dear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I do love that, because this episode is an it's oh wait, I guess yeah, this episode is making anti-capitalist jokes,
Yeah, it
right?
is.
So it's making fun of the ruling class, and it's suggesting that they are useless. But I also think it's hilarious that their solution to, like, oh my god, like, we just did bad. You know what we should do? We should go, like, live with the rocks and get down to nature. And I'm
Let's
like,
go off
isn't that
the
what rich
grid.
people?
Let's go off the grid. And I was like, and so was Mariner. We were all like,
Yes, yeah, we were all
fine,
making the
just
same
like
face.
go off.
We we were all Mariners, rich people face. But I also imagine them on a planet making pizzas just like Riker and Deanna Troi.
Like on Nepenthe?
Yeah.
But
Hey, that they were off the grid. That's what off the grid is in the future, Maya.
but they're not really off the grid in Nepenthe. They just live in the woods. That's all. Because the people can still get a hold of them. All right, so Beckett's mad. But everything turns out okay.
I'm also going to say, can we just talk about also how the style of these aliens is that their ears are long and they pull their ears up and then have them tied on their head. Like that's hilarious.
I like it. Like with the little ponytail holder, they're like,
Yeah,
they're like,
it's super cute.
let me just grab my ears and I'm
Because I'm like, that's not like their heads being that's a choice. Like, they could let their ears hang low.
wobble to
No,
and fro,
they're gonna have
but
them
they would rather
exactly.
tie them in a knot or tie them in a bow. They do
In a
not want to
bow?
throw them over their shoulders like a continental soldier. Do you know that song? I can't.
Do your ears hang
Low.
low?
Yeah, I love that. Summer camp.
Summer
So-
camp. I don't know where I get these things from.
So Boimler, the reason why they got captured, is because they were trying to save Boimler's, ensigns who ended up getting captured. And
Right, and they show up and they look like they're dead.
Full
It's horrible.
on.
I was surprised. I was like, "Wow, lower decks."
I-
I'm like here's the thing. Characters die in the Star Trek universe, so I was like,
Mhm.
"Okay," and I guess we didn't really know these characters very well, but this seems a little cold-hearted
Yeah.
for an episode. My goodness, I was a little shocked. So I was happy when they turned it around and referenced the running joke. And I do go, Boimler is having character growth. Boimler, like Boimler was doing these annoying, like, Boimler's bon mots, Boimler's tips. What were they?
They were bointers.
Boimler bointers. Oh, it's
But they
worse than anything
worked.
I could think of.
But the bointers
So bad.
worked. And that's what saved
That's
the
the
ensigns.
thing. Yes.
I mean, honestly, yeah, no. It is what saved the ensigns is that the ensigns played dead. That's what they
Yes.
learned from Bradward Boimler, is that they were in a
They
lot of
learned-
trouble, and the best thing that they could do was play dead and go into some like bug-induced coma. And I love that
Yes.
because that is something that Boimler would do. He would make it appear
Mhm.
that he was dead and get them to freak out so that they would open the thing. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's pretty smart. I like how at the end he's like, all right, let's get you to medical, and they're like, oh, you're done. You are no
We wanna go
fun.
party."
We want to go party. It's like, oh my god, you just got comaed. Like,
It's like, no, they were fully dead. Like, it's a special bug that, like, fully makes you dead for a little while.
but they're fine
And,
now.
but, like, they're fine
They
now.
didn't meet the
It's the
space koala.
future.
They didn't
Calm
meet the space
down.
koala, so it's not like it was like a real death.
We don't know. We don't know if they met
Stay
the
away
space
from the
koala or not.
mountain. That's what did you hear that? Boimler was beating on
Wait,
the
what?
guy's Boimler was beating on one of the guy's chests, and he said, "Stay away from the mountain."
Oh my
Because
God.
Boimler
Oh
has
my God, the references.
full on past. He met the space koala and came
Space
back. So like all of that, like it was very very
Oh my
scary,
God.
and it has changed the course of his entire life. And it's also why like a lot of the senior, at least the what's his face, Shax, likes him a lot, because it's like they both met
Oh, yeah.
the space koala, and they're brothers. He calls him a little baby bear, and I like that.
Aw.
He's the best. Shax is. You guys
He really
should
is.
read.
Shax is awesome.
You should read Shax's. I think it's called Shax's Best Day, and it's a comic book. Um, and
I'm pulling it up.
and
I'll drop it in the chat.
it's from the storyline like Day of Blood, and it's all about
Yes, Day
Shax,
of Blood.
but it's like
Shax's
it's
best
day,
day.
yeah, and it's so cute,
Oh,
it's
this
so
looks
fun.
fun.
You can get this
Okay,
comic
at some
book.
point we're gonna need to like I don't own these comics. Do you own the can you get
You
we
get
should
them
like we
on
should
the
watch
library apps. Hoopla, Libby, they do comic books.
the library. I'm gonna check out
Please,
Shax's best day.
yeah.
Well, I'm gonna check out Star Trek Day of Blood. So I
You
should
should
check
do
it out from the
Star
library
Trek
and then we can
Sons
talk
too.
about
Do
it.
the Sons. The,
Yeah, no, you
that's a
told
good
me
one.
about that
That's a
one.
good one.
You've been telling me to be getting these amazing Star Trek comic books, and I'm sleeping on it. I'm
They're so
not.
good.
I've been.
The IDW, yeah, Star Trek storylines. And IDW also does Doctor Who stuff too, and I think that there's a crossover with them. Next image is
I'm only gonna watch things that you have already watched and have deemed to be good. Maya, part of this is in my 20s. I had. I loved Star Trek so much, and we were in a drought. So I read so many bad Star Trek
sure,
comic
sure,
books
sure.
and read so much Star Trek fanfic. And just the I read a lot of books where I was like, these characters don't sound like the characters at all, and they're doing things the characters would never do. But I'm so hungry for Star Trek, I'm gonna read this. So I like that you're hooking me up with Star Trek alternate media that makes sense and will be fun and won't
Yeah, it works.
bring me out of the
It works
story.
within the canon, and I actually hope it is. I hope it is canon. I mean, things don't always have to be. But now this image is at the end. Tendi is home. Tendi made it home to the Cerritos crew. They're very happy. I had a bonus picture that I just wanted you, Claudia, to tell me
Okay.
what is this?
This photo? This
Hold
is
on.
the photo
No.
that
It's
you want
coming
me
up in
to.
just a second.
Oh,
So you'll see it.
okay. Because I was like, I got nothing for this. Wait, what?
Do you remember this photo from this
Happened?
episode?
I don't
This
actually.
conversation? This was the most delightful bit of throwaway information that maybe we should all remember. When Rutherford
Yes.
says to Billups, "Wow, I wish my mom would buy me a dragon." And that's it. Then
That's it.
Rutherford went into the shuttle bay to have his little interaction with Talin about like being friends and like that like cute little thing. But like literally it was just one line. "Wow, I wish my mom would buy me a dragon." And he's like injured.
Billups is injured by fire, and obviously that was okay. That is one of my favorite jokes.
I
So
love
like
it.
improv groups do this all the time, where the scene, like the game or the bit or the sketch comedy folks do this all the time. Where the sketch is about storyline A, but they start with a random funny line that like references things that don't exist that seem like it's just like that's very funny,
Mhm.
and it's done in one line. Lower Decks is really good at writing and comedy. Like that's like they should teach this in a
It's
school
because they
for writing.
hire comedians. They hire comedians to make and do that show. Like it is a comedy
Yeah,
program.
I'm curious about who is in the writers' room for Lower Decks because I am loving their work. I think the writers' room for the Lower Decks is brilliant.
Tony Newsom.
But we should get to the next picture since it's almost foul.
That's the last picture. And so what I wanted to talk about with you next is just this little thing that we could finish it off with, which was the effect. What additions to the canon did this make? These 2 episodes. The only thing I wanted to add were that magazine, Fleet magazine.
They have magazines in the future. Come on. But also, I kind of like it.
I loved the image of the magazine. Unfortunately, you'll have to watch the episode
Use your
to
imagination.
see it. But there's just a few things in it that I'm going to point out to you, but you won't be able to actually see the image. And that is on that
Okay.
image. We have the number 47, which is mildly covered up by Brad Boimler's fingers. I'm looking at it right now. Um,
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up the photo on my own computer. Like, just keep talking. Just keep talking. I'm gonna pull it
so
up. Audience doesn't need to see it.
we have the picture of Brad Boimler.
So this is Fleet. What's the? It's Star Trek Fleet magazine.
Yeah. I mean, it is also frozen on 3 minutes and 47 seconds into the first episode, Dos Cerritos.
I'm just gonna see if it's on the internet already. It's probably not. It's probably not there yet. No, it's not there. Oh, and I'm guessing that in some ways it must be also referencing. There's so many Star Trek magazines. So I'm guessing also, like, if you did a screen cap of that and we compared it to like Star Trek Explorer or one of the old school Star Trek magazines, I bet it has jokes. But
Right.
what else has been added to the canon? I'm here for it.
Oh, sorry, it went away. My picture went away. So we have the number 47 that shows
number
up.
47.
The number 47 is just something that has it frequently shows up in Star Trek things. So when he so that the number of the magazine is yeah, so we have the number 47, and then listed on the articles, because I did write those down. Hello, I lost my mouse, sorry. We have
It's okay. I'm reading
also
about there's a club.
he mentions that Naomi Wildman is in the best 30 under 30, and she is only 10.
She's only 10. That was so good. That was so
really
good.
But the other articles were 30 amazing officers under 30% of their lifespan. Which is like not really true, because a lot of non-human aliens live way longer. Like sometimes they live twice as long or 3 times as long as humans.
That's real. Like if you're a Vulcan, I feel like you're still in school when you're in your 30s.
Let's see, top 10 Riker moments. I like that.
Top 10 Riker moments. Oh my gosh.
Klingon couture with K's, both spelled with K.
Amazing.
Blood is the new black. Very good. And then we had Q Who the continuum awaits, because Q actually stopped messing with humanity for a while at this point in the timeline. But it says like the official Starfleet magazine on it, and then discoveries, tributes, Trekonomics. And I'm like, there's no such thing as, I mean, they don't have money. But I thought that was, I thought that adding a magazine, because it looks exactly like the Star Trek fan magazine, to be just like, it's such a beautiful addition to that, because in a whole bunch of ways, Star Trek Lower Decks is for fans and people.
Yes.
It's for us. So like when they show us this magazine, like, we're Brad. Sorry guys.
Yes.
Sorry. I know you don't think you are, but we're all Brad. Some of us.
Yeah, right. So our
some
audience
of us
gets
are.
it. Our audience is just like, yes, it's just like Star Trek Explorer, which it got canceled. That's too bad.
But like, we're Brad. Sometimes we want to be Beckett, but we're not. Like, we're not that. We're not that. We're Brad. Sorry.
What else are additions to the canon? Like, was it just the magazine where you're like, well, I like that Lower Decks made this up, and now this is canon. Like, this is now part of the thing.
Well, obviously,
like,
the addition to the blue Orions.
Oh, so good.
That was a huge, like, shocking thing. I was like, oh, so that's real. I love you.
All of this Orion society stuff is so delicious. I gotta say, one of my biggest disappointments is that Star Trek Discovery didn't actually try to show us what an Orion society, like, in the far future would be like. I would have enjoyed that.
So Yes, I thoroughly liked. I like this. Hold on. I wanted to to close this out, Claudia. This
Yes.
time with a book recommendation.
A book recommendation.
Yeah, I
Okay, what book
I
are we
know, right?
recommending to our
I know,
audience?
right? So I just finished listening to this book called Red Shirts. It's by
Oh
John
yeah,
Scalzi.
Stansky, Scalzi.
Scalzi. It's read by Will Wheaton, and it's a really smart book, and I think it's really good for people who like Star Trek. I can't actually
I
tell
feel
you
like
anything about it, but I thoroughly liked it, and my
I
roommate just finished it, so now I can talk to him about it after we watch
I'm
these
glad.
episodes.
I will. You can talk to me about it, but also I'll be honest. I read it when I was working at the Oregon Shakespeare Festival, so like I read the book
Oh,
maybe 6 or 7 years ago, but I do remember reading it and quite enjoying it because like I don't read as much for pleasure nowadays. I don't really have a commute, so it's like just a commitment to sitting on a couch reading a book,
right.
which
I
generally
go
I
to
like
the
to
gym and I listen
read
to
while I'm
it
on the road.
on the road or at the gym.
Um,
So,
I would. I don't do audiobooks. I record them with my voice, but I don't really listen to audiobooks that much.
you should
But I
try
did put a
listening to
link
them really
to.
fast. That helps.
I put a link to the Audible a, an episode of that show. At least I think I did.
Yeah, you did.
I might have screwed it.
No, you did.
Oh, I
I mean,
did.
close
Well,
enough.
I put a
It's
link and
like
I don't know if it actually
it like
goes
goes
to
to
it.
the UK. It's like .co.uk.
Yeah, I think I might
Yeah,
have
you
sent
did.
you the wrong link. Let me
Mhm.
try again. Let me see if I can find a better link to this.
It's okay.
Red Shirts by John Scalzi. I thought that I did a good link, and then like the link, when I open up the link, instead of it being the link that I have here, it turns into that weird.
I mean,
That's very annoying when you click on a link and it's like, oh, awesome. You mean this thing that you didn't ask for? All right, here we go. Here we go. This is better. Ignore this. I would delete that, but I don't know how to delete comments. So,
okay.
Red Shirts, good link. Here you go. Boom.
Oh, yeah, that's it. That looks right.
Yeah, that's better.
So I thought it was an incredibly clever book. I like books that are smart, and it does a lot of uh, playing with the genre, but in ways that I thought were that didn't feel manipulative or not or dishonorable to. Because this is a parody. It's a humorous parody, y'all, but it's also not always funny, and that's one of the things I really liked about it. It's satire. Satire isn't
It's
always funny.
meta.
Uh,
It's deeply meta, and if you know Star Trek, you will enjoy
you'll
this,
enjoy the
like on a
hell out
deep
of it.
level.
It's called it's referred to as a Red Shirts is a postmodern science fiction novel that satirizes Star Trek. Um, and
Okay.
that is a reasonably one
Here's the thing.
sentence thing. I didn't
I
know it
don't
was made
think
in
it's
2012.
satirizing. Yeah, I don't think it's satirizing Star Trek. I think they have to say it's satirizing because he's not allowed to set something in the Star Trek universe because he doesn't have permission to do that. Oh no, no, you think it's
No, it's 100% a satirization of Star Trek. They
okay?
literally say it in this book. There is a TV show
Oh,
called Star Trek. None of them have seen it because they are on this ship and they don't watch old TV shows.
I'm gonna have to read this
You
book
do.
again.
You should.
It's been a while. I'm saying yeah, it came out in 2012.
Yeah, I
I
didn't
read
know
it
that.
a while ago, and what I love is that I'm not gonna listen to Will Wheaton read it to me, but I have given the link for Will Wheaton to read it to our audience because this is Trek Talk and it's all about Star Trek.
Yeah.
What a great book recommendation. Thank you for that,
Yeah, it's
Maya.
very Star Trekky, and I wanted to add that on. So also, you can watch Star Trek Lower Decks on the internet wherever you want. I don't know. I'm not your mom. Or am I? No, I'm not. Well, some of you I am. Okay, that's it then. We did it. I'm gonna transition to our goodbye stuff. We did the things. I'm so proud of us, Claudia. We talked very thoroughly about this show, and this show is there's an awful lot
We
because
we
it's
we
so
reviewed 2 episodes.
and because it's so tied into canon, there's always a lot to
Yes.
discuss. Like, generally speaking, we went through each episode, like each episode took us 30 minutes to discuss, which is as long as the episode itself was, which I thought was really really
Indeed.
interesting.
Indeed.
Um
Trekonomics is a book about the economics of Star Trek, and I'm going to drop it also in the chat for our audience to
thank
enjoy
you.
because that's funny as
Yeah, I mean, they just it's like watching Star Trek Lower Decks makes me think that the makers and creators of Star Trek love us.
yes,
That's what it makes me
yes.
feel. It's
I
like,
feel
oh,
like
you
they
guys
like
really
us,
like
and
us.
they
Sorry, like you guys really. I changed scenes. You guys really really care about us. Like to give us this stuff. It made me really happy.
yeah.
It made me feel like they care about the content that they are putting out to us. Because as you mentioned earlier, in when you were doing the beginning of the TikTok stream, is that like it's these big conglomerates that are owning our streaming services and these and the studios and stuff, and those people do not
Mm,
care about entertainment. They care
that part.
about making money. They're like, even though technically speaking they're in the entertainment business, they are throwing the entertainment out and making it straight
Yes, they're just
business. And so like their business
yes,
isn't entertaining people, their business is making money. It's why we don't get another season of
yes.
Chaos. And the reason why we don't get another season of Chaos is because we didn't watch it fast enough. That's why.
Which is so annoying because I watched it. I
I
watched it
watched
as
it too.
fast as
I
I
took my
could.
time because I wasn't
Also,
sure, and then I
frankly,
did.
and also, frankly, I need them to stop being like, you get 1 season, but it ends with like a, and then what happens, and then we never finish it. I'm like, you know what? You're not allowed to do that
Stop doing
anymore,
that.
TV
It's
studios.
mean.
If you want to make a story that's a one and done, do that. If you want to make a story that continues, give me at least 2 seasons. Don't leave me hanging here. I liked Chaos. I wanted to find out what happened
I
next.
wanted to know what
Billy
was going
Piper
on with.
was doing some intriguing
Yeah,
stuff.
I wanted to know what was going on with Chaos themselves.
Thank
I was
you.
really, really fascinated by who that character ended up being, and yet we don't get to and yet we don't get to know anything about it because they decided it was a failure because everybody in the entire world didn't watch it within the first 2 weeks. They call it a
Okay,
loss. They call it a
here's
loss.
the here's the thing though. I think, and I know we're going over,
No, we're
but
fine.
I think these production companies are doing shenanigans.
Amen.
Straight up shenanigans, shell game action, right? Where they set up the circumstances where they can claim Chaos lost money. That way they don't have to pay taxes,
Hmm.
they don't have to pay residuals, they don't have to pay people things they contractually agree to. But then after it's been canceled, another company, another streaming network can be like, you know what? We like you. Let's help you out. And can possibly give them a less lucrative financial deal to allow them to do a second season. Because I'm like, oh, Star Trek Prodigy was on another platform, and then it was on
The
Netflix. And I go, oh right, these
But the
it's
problem with Chaos is that Chaos was created. You can see it, and it's supposed to be prestige television,
yeah,
and Prodigy
yeah,
isn't prestige television. This is supposed to be prestige because
it's
of all of
not.
the stars. I think it is quite prestigious
Yeah,
and
you're
quite
right.
wonderful.
You're right.
But like you have when you have movie stars and like those the kind of special effects, the kind of performance, the kind of everything that you got from that
Mm-hmm.
production, um, you can't. And although they do many times, they're like, yeah, we'll give it a second season, and then we're gonna half the budget, and now it's gonna be garbage. It's what happened to V. I mean, V, the original TV show that was made off of, hold on,
Ah,
yeah, that was made off of the movies because you had the two TV movies and
yes,
then they had a TV show. And the
yes.
first season was good, but then they slashed the budget
The
even more
budget,
and it was
and it
straight
got horrible.
garbage. Yes.
That's real.
Hmm.
That's real. That's real. I'm glad that we had a slight dog leg to talk about the 1980s television TV series
A
V. I think
classic.
it's important that our audience heard that. I can't wait to come back next week and talk about Star Trek Lower Decks with
Hmm.
you. It's only going to be one episode, I'm
Yeah.
guessing. They're not going to give us two, right?
No,
I
no, no,
like
no,
getting two
no, no, no. That's
episodes,
just
but
that's a little treat. They do that now. They do that now.
right,
Like they
right.
drop a show, they're like, we're gonna give you two little sweeties, you little piggy, you little piggy. You want your two little sweeties? Now you're definitely gonna stay, huh? Huh? Squeal! Like that's what they're doing to
Here's
us,
the thing, they already had
and we're
me.
like,
Like, and they know. Here's the thing, with Star Trek Lower Decks, why would you cancel this show? There's no point in canceling it. The audience loyalty is so hard. We love this show so much. But that said, my colleague Grant had not seen it. So, in many ways, you and I are serving a vital function in the entertainment ecosystem. There's a reason why Paramount Plus gives us the screeners, because I did encourage my friend to watch all the Star Trek Lower Decks
yes,
so we can talk about them like gigantic nerds.
because it is so much fun, and I absolutely love it, and I also absolutely love talking about Star Trek with you here in my holodeck. I didn't feel like turning on my holodeck today, but so I saw this thing where like different it's like different generations make different hearts, and it was like this and like
Oh yeah,
this,
well
and
this
then
is
there's also
Korean.
this, which is a different one.
Oh yeah, well this is if you're fancy and my hands, it hurts my hand.
Um,
Like that's the one I used to do because thought it was like sexier, and also I think it's a little more legible. The heart's bigger and more legible. But now I do this one because my hands do it
oh,
better.
I didn't know you were wearing a Ritos shirt. I just
Yeah.
recognized
Why
that.
do you think I've been? Have you noticed I've been doing this move throughout the episode?
No,
Oh my! And it
no, that's
wasn't
just
that I was
you.
like, you need to look at my breasts. It was my breasts are covered with the crew of the
I
Cerritos.
love
Look
that
at that! It's
shirt
our
though. That's a
favorite
cool ass
Lower
shirt.
Decks
All right,
episode.
good shirt then. Good shirt. Good night. All right, I'm gonna play the music and I'm gonna say the little things that I say now. Did I do it? Oh, that's so quiet. Thank you so much for joining us. Trek Talk is a Calling of Justice production. Special thanks to guest and executive producer Claudia Alick. For more information on Claudia, check out the links in the chat. That's linktree/Calling of Justice. And special thanks to your host and Star Trek aficionado. I like that word, Maiamama. For more information on Maiamama, also check out those links in the chat. Check out my link tree. That's linktree/Maiamama. Also, I want to let everyone know that I'm currently updating my game final test. It's turning out amazing. I'm so excited for all of you to take a look at that. And that's what I got. Next week, let's do some more Trek talking. Yeah, I'll be there. Okay, I love you. Bye-bye.